Most people believe they are judged by what they say, what they do, or what they achieve. That is comforting, but it is false. In reality, people are judged far earlier, far faster, and far more ruthlessly. Long before words are exchanged, the human mind is already classifying you: safe or dangerous, dominant or submissive, worth respecting or easy to pressure. This process is automatic, unconscious, and deeply psychological. Human beings evolved in environments where misjudging strength was fatal. Our nervous systems are still wired to detect vulnerability in milliseconds. This is why certain people are interrupted more often, dismissed more easily, pressured more aggressively, or subtly disrespected without obvious reason. It is not bad luck, it is not coincidence, it is psychological signaling. The first signal is internal certainty. People who are targeted often appear uncertain, not in what they say, but in how grounded they feel inside themselves. Their decisions feel provisional, their opinions sound tentative, their presence lacks finality. The brain reads this as negotiable. When someone seems unsure of their own position, others instinctively test it. Pressure is applied not because of cruelty, but because the mind senses an opening. The second signal is emotional permeability. Some people leak emotion without realizing it. Their face reacts instantly. Their tone shifts when challenged. Their body tightens when tension appears. This transparency feels honest, but psychologically it is dangerous. Emotional leakage tells others exactly where to push. The mind respects opacity. When emotions are contained, observers hesitate. When emotions spill freely, boundaries invite invasion. The third signal is external orientation. People who are constantly reading the room, adjusting themselves, or tracking approval communicate something critical. Their sense of self is outsourced. They look outward to calibrate inward. This creates a power imbalance. The person who looks inward for validation becomes the reference point. The person who looks outward becomes dependent. Psychology always favors the reference point. Another overlooked factor is speed. People who move, speak, or respond too quickly signal urgency. Urgency communicates need. Need communicates vulnerability. The mind interprets haste as anxiety, even when intentions are good. Slowness, by contrast, signals surplus. Time is power. When someone appears to have time, others assume they have options. When someone appears rushed, others assume they do not. There is also the psychology of self-justification. The need to explain oneself, clarify motives, or defend decisions is rarely logical. It is emotional. It stems from the fear of being misjudged. But psychology is brutal here. The person who explains appears weaker than the person who acts and lets consequences speak. Explanations place you beneath the listener, seeking permission. Silence places you above, allowing interpretation. One of the most powerful unconscious signals is self-containment. People who are internally contained do not broadcast inner chaos. They do not narrate struggles. They do not advertise doubt. This does not mean they are problem-free. It means they are psychologically sealed. The mind reads this as strength, not moral strength, but structural strength, the kind that resists pressure. Another factor is reactivity to disrespect. When someone flinches at subtle slights, laughs nervously, or overcorrects socially, they communicate that respect is something they fear losing. Fear always invites testing. Conversely, those who do not react immediately, who pause, observe, and choose responses deliberately, trigger caution in others. Calm is intimidating. Reactivity is exploitable. There is also a deeper layer: identity coherence. People who are targeted often carry internal contradictions. They want to be respected, but also liked, assertive but agreeable, independent but validated. These conflicts leak through micro-behaviors. The psyche senses incoherence and presses on it. Coherence, even if imperfect, creates psychological gravity. The mind trusts what feels internally aligned. The most dangerous misconception is that being targeted is about morality.
It is not. Predatory behavior is opportunistic, not ethical. The mind does not ask who deserves pressure, it asks who can tolerate it. Those who appear tolerant of discomfort, disrespect, or ambiguity become containers for other people's frustrations. This is why some individuals are repeatedly dumped on socially, professionally, and emotionally. Psychological safety comes from self-reference. When your sense of worth is internal, pressure loses leverage. Criticism becomes information instead of threat. Disapproval becomes data instead of injury. The nervous system settles, and when the nervous system settles, your behavior changes subtly but profoundly. People sense it before they can explain it. This is the quiet shift that ends targeting, not dominance displays, not aggression, not intimidation, but psychological solidity. When you stop signaling need, urgency, and permeability, the environment recalibrates. People test less, push less, probe less, not because they were taught to respect you, but because their instincts no longer see an opening. This is the real psychology beneath social power, not charisma, not confidence theater, but containment, pace, self-reference, emotional discipline. When these elements align, you stop being someone others feel entitled to pressure, you become someone they adjust around. And that's when something interesting happens. You are not louder, you are not harsher, you are simply harder to move. And in human psychology, what cannot be moved is respected, even feared, not consciously, but instinctively. That's how targeting ends, not through confrontation, but through internal architecture.